man, I'm fired up. And here's another thing I'm fired up about it too. I'm pissed off about this too. All right, so I know it's a little premature. We're gonna get to it anyway. The crowd in Pittsburgh. God love you, Pittsburgh. When do we get to a certain point where the crowd needs to just go F itself? Where it's like, I understand it's kind of funny. You're counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and doing the thing. Like, okay, it was funny the first time. You're going to do it for the entire 25 minutes of the match after you discovered that you could do that. It was so frustrating and annoying. And I feel like the people are there sometimes not to enjoy the show as much as they're there because they want to show up so they can rip the show. And it's like, dude, these guys are working, man. People don't appreciate how I appreciate how hard it is you do, Nate. Tim does. I take freaking bumps for a living. I get paid to do this when I teach fighting. So I get it, man. I get how hard these guys are working. And it pisses me off because I think it's disrespectful to them.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken bumps. Anytime there's a guy that's got to jump off of something really high and it's got to look like there's good security around to help catch him, guess who's there? My big ass.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. You get your big ass there, Bush, and you catch that son of a bitch.
But there I am, and that shit hurts, man. Like, like if you've ever taken a bump in the ring, you'll know it's not easy. That's why I'd stick to commentary. I took a couple bumps. I said, I like talking better than I like falling.
But quarter of the year.
Oh, totally.
My thing is the Pittsburgh crowd. This is wrestling logic here, apparently, according to the internet. All right. Rumor was Lashley and Reigns is going to main event. All right. The whole internet throws a fit. Twitter's going crazy. We want the Iron Man match. The Iron Man match deserves it. WWE listens to the crowd. Okay. Here you go. Main event, Iron Man match, Intercontinental title. 2 workers, 2 workhorses, 2 guys you've been begging to push. And what do?
Right.
You take a big steaming shit all over the match because you got to be the star. Not these 2 guys in the ring busting their ass, putting on the match of the night, making everything just – it was so good. It was such a good match.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole crowd just sitting there wiping their ass with it, going, we can count from 10. Yay.
Yeah. And like I said, I get it.
Times.
Look, I went to college in Philadelphia, so in terms of wrestling crowds, the most – I've ever seen wrestling was in Philadelphia. Like I've seen more shows in Philly than I have in New York. And Philly's a tough crowd. And Philly's its own animal, but they respect the work at the end of the day. And I feel like that's they're one to do that kind of stuff. But if it's a match that they seem to respect the workers too. And I feel like there's some of these places sometimes where they go. And I'm glad you said it because I was thinking I might be on an island here about it, but it really pissed me off, man. Like I thought that this was an opportunity where they had a really what everybody wanted, like you said. You nailed it. Everybody wanted this match to main event. They put it on there. They listened to everybody. And then you're going to be a pain in the ass when everybody gets listened to. It's like, so wait, you hate when we push Roman Reigns down your throat, but then we give you what you want and you hate that too, or you're going to disrespect the product. I mean, Tim, at a certain point, don't you think some of the wrestling fans need to get over themselves and just, it's like, and I know you're like that too, stop hating Roman Reigns, stop hating all this stuff, just enjoy the show or don't go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've been in times in NXT Brooklyn where the crowd's gotten a little bit silly, and I've just kind of, people around me have been like, all right, guys, shut up. It's not a universal thing with that. I think it's definitely subsets that are louder than most, and you can even hear, I don't know if you saw the video of Rollins and Ziggler complaining while they're in a rest hold, saying this is worse than when the clock was on or whatever, and you kind of caught that on the mic, and you could tell that they were getting frustrated a bit by it. And, as Nate, you said perfectly, it's just disrespectful to kind of try to take over the show and be the show. That's not why people watch on the network, to hear your ass doing all that crap. So, it's a play that's going to stick around for a while, especially if it's just going to be, these guys just trying to be at these big events, trying to be the center of attention. So,
and part of it's from the crowd being wrung out because of the 5-hour shows they want to do all the time. Like there's part of it that the crowd gets antsy. And I think that's something they have to look at. It's like, if you want to do all this and you want to have more advertising money and all these things, well, you have to understand that your live shows that happened in Jersey too. And honestly, in Jersey for Backlash, it was a crap show. So they had every right to be pissed off and whatever it is. Cause you pay good money, you go out there and you get, annoyed. That's more fair. But like this trend that it's cool to go out there and just be a dick at shows and just whatever. Like, it's just like, come on, man. It's like, you want to call something crap when it's crap, call it crap. But like, don't crap on the main event when it's something everybody's excited about and the guys are working their butt off in an Iron Man match. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and this is, participation is actually not bad if you do it right. If you're really just trying to, if the guy's jawing at you from the ring or something and you jaw back, that's good. But like, I don't know. When you're trying to just
they're
override,
predisposed, Tim. They're predisposed. Like, we're going to go in there. We're going to ruin this. And I think that's
exactly right. You're trying to override what's happening. That's bad. Yeah.
All right. Well, you know,
and it's partly WWE's fault. They encourage it the night after WrestleMania, like, oh, this is the most raucous crowd we've had all year, yada yada. And then they wonder why. It's like, oh, well, why do they do that?
Yeah.
It's because you're encouraging it, jackass.
Yeah.
All the crowd shots, man. People want to get on there.
Yeah.
Well, and look, and I don't want to take it. Look, there's a fine line here because it's like every other thing, you know, if there's no crowd, there's no show. There's no show, people aren't making the money. But at the same time, I think you all have to understand you're all in this together to a certain extent. And yeah, the guys are making big money, and yeah, you want to be entertained and all that stuff. I do too. I'm paying a lot of money to go see SummerSlam and take my kids there, and it's going to be fun, and I want a good show. And what I don't want is I don't want people ruin it for me by, you know, counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, going in between, like the only match that I really, really deep down cared about. Well, you know what? We'll come back to the other thing. Let's just talk about that match too. I thought it was well constructed. I mean, Nate, you started to talk about it a little bit. Let's chat with you and about that and get your ideas on this. I like the finish. I like the 4-4 tie into him just missing a chance to go for that last time. I thought the McIntyre interference was perfect. McIntyre coming back at the end for that last thing, very heelish. This reminded me of real good old school. We've got a plan. Like whoever was agenting this match, I think had to be somebody who really just knew what they were doing, because I think everything in it was just spot on the way they told the story.
This had Pat Patterson written all over
right?
it.
I mean, this is a Patterson finish, right?
Tyson Kidd's been working a lot with Dolph and Seth and Drew, so they might have put something together on that.
That wouldn't surprise me, because I know he's done some nice work too. Like, but I mean, this had all the earmarks of some real old school people involved too, and also just like a real knowledge, because this was high quality workmanship here.
Well, this could have taken place at Judgment Day 2000, whenever The Rock and Triple H had their Iron Man match. Yep. It was very, very similar, but still very well done, and it was different in its own way. My thing with it was a great match. Love the work rate. I would have loved for these two to have went 60. I would have liked for the crowd not to have went 60, but I would have liked these two to have went 60. And Pittsburgh, I've been in Pittsburgh several times. I was there at the 2014 Royal Rumble when there was almost a riot when Batista won. It was just awful. But you know what, Pittsburgh, you need to get over yourself. And I know it's not just a Pittsburgh crowd. It was more than that. And this match was great. It deserved better. And if I'm Dolph and Seth, I'd be pissed, and they should be. But I love the finish, love the layout, love the way they did it. Just wish it could have been an hour, because to me, Iron Man matches are better when they're an hour.
I agree, but you're not going to get that over with the audience. And,
yeah, I know.
Especially for the Intercontinental.
Well, yeah, good point, Tim. And not for the Intercontinental either. And they've put themselves in a corner with that. And good for Seth Rollins. Look, Seth Rollins for the last 6 months has carried this company. He has. And he deserves better. He deserves a spot here where he's worthy of main eventing. And if he's not in the main event, he steals every show, whether it's working with The Miz or anybody else. It doesn't matter. That's why I'm annoyed that it's SummerSlam he's not in the main event, because I feel like I don't care if I've seen it. I don't care if he's held the belt. I don't care. He's the guy right now. And if you don't know by the crowd reaction he's the guy, you're just an imbecile. You're just out of your mind. All right, let's